The best new watch releases starting from $1 going up to $5,000. These are watches that have been released over the past few months or are about to be released. And I have a list of around 14, 15 watches. Lots of watches to get into, so let's talk about the first watch. The first watch on this list could be my favorite watch. It's kind of the reason why I put it at number 1 on this list. It's a new Accutron, it's an Astronaut, it's in grade 5 titanium. I got hands-on with this watch just recently, and hopefully we'll have one of these hands-on for review very soon. They are now using an in-house movement that is a GMT caliber. It's a citizen-based GMT caliber, very similar to the 9075. This is a true or a traveler's GMT now. It's also in grade 5 titanium. It's getting a champagne dial, and of course, it's an Astronaut, so you're getting this really unique bracelet. It's very lightweight. This is just a really good looking watch, and it takes this watch to a new level. And I really like the movement choice because it is now a traveler's GMT. It's thinner. And also, by the way, they're putting an extra hard coating on this grade 5 titanium. So you're getting extra scratch resistance on top of this being a grade 5 titanium watch. You're getting all of this for $3,000. So it's actually a pretty good price and a really, in my opinion, a very good looking watch. Probably one of the best looking astronauts that have come out in a long time. Usually in these watches, they're putting a Solita movement. Obviously, the original movements were tuning fork movements, and a lot of people have been waiting for them to come out with a new tuning fork movement. Hopefully one day they do. However, this is a great substitute, and I really, really like this watch. Next is a new color and a new material for a very popular integrated bracelet watch from China. It's Atelier Wen, and they are coming out with a purple dial. So this gets their guilloche, hand guilloche dial. And now it's in titanium. So the bracelet, the case, and of course that on-the-fly micro adjust, which has that button that sits outside of the clasp, which is really easy to use. That's all in titanium now. And of course, this is all handmade in China. You're getting a peacock movement inside. These cost over $3,000, around the $3,500 range, somewhere in that range. But these are really higher end watches. They feel like higher end watches for a very, very good price. And the purple dial, very popular. And of course, again, it is a hand guilloche dial. Next watch on this list was completely unexpected. It's from Citizen and it is called the Suratto. This is a very thin Eco Drive dress watch. They came out with it in 3 different colors. From what I can tell, this is around 6 millimeters thick. These are a 38 millimeter dress watch, and you're getting that Eco Drive, like I said before, so that is a solar movement. They're clean, you're getting no date, you're getting metallic dials. They're like a grainy metallic dial, and you're getting 50 meters of water resistance. These come in at a very good price of $375. They look a lot more expensive than they actually are. The straps that these are coming on actually look about as thick as the case. That's because these are ultra thin watches for around $375. They look great. I'm very excited about these, and I will be getting these hands-on for review. Next is a watch that I immediately purchased, well, almost immediately, and I'll be making a full hands-on video about here on my channel. It's a watch that costs under $200. It's an all gold tone Timex. It's a QTime X with a stone dial. So they've come out with 3 different versions of this. They are a malachite dial, a tiger's eye dial, and a lapis dial. So you're getting a blue lapis and that green malachite. There's a brown tiger's eye. Really cool dials, and they go really well with their gold tone bracelets and cases. You're also getting matching bezels that are in the same color as the dials. Those are 12-hour bezels, very typical for a QTime X. The other thing about this is that these QTime X are in 36 millimeters. They are meant to be unisex. I've actually spoken to Timex directly about these watches. However, they are currently under the women's section on the Timex website. but I have one hands-on. This is definitely a watch that a man can wear because they are pretty large, 36 millimeters, but you do have to keep in mind that the original QTime X is only 38 millimeters. These just wear slightly smaller. They actually wear bigger than your typical PRX or equivalent. So these are pretty wearable if you are a man, and the straps, the stretchy bands that they're actually putting on here fits my wrist, and I have a 7.5-inch wrist, so that's really not bad. And of course, these are $199. So if you like cocktail watches and you want something that's a little bit interesting, something fun, and again, I have the malachite dial here, hands-on, and I'll be doing a video about that watch very shortly. Next is a new GMT that I've actually already made a video about here on my channel, and I'll throw a link to that video up above. It is a new Nevada Grenchen. It's their Antarctic GMT. And this is a faithful recreation of the original Antarctic GMT from the 1960s and 70s. It's a very rare vintage watch. You really can't find these anywhere on the market. These get an automatic movement. It's a SOPROD movement, so the C125, which is a really great thin GMT movement. Of course, that is an office GMT or a military GMT. One of my favorite things about this watch is the acrylic crystal. It is very true to the original boxed acrylic crystal that would have come on this watch. It gives you those vintage vibes. And of course, it's an acrylic crystal, so it works really well with a watch like this in around 36 millimeters. These come in at $1,600, which is on the more expensive side, but you are getting a really cool watch that I think is very, very good looking. One of the biggest releases from Christopher Ward this year is the updated Bel Canto, the Bel Canto Classic. I had one of those hands-on for review here on my channel that was just released a few days ago. Definitely check out that video if you're interested in that watch. Lots of upgrades, including a laser etched guilloche dial, boxed sapphire crystal, and in my opinion, an improved chime over the original. I actually compare the watch directly to my original Bel Canto with the plain sunburst dial. Now it seems kind of plain compared to that laser etched guilloche dial. These are very attractive watches, especially at the price that they are offering them, because you are getting a lot for your money. These are great looking watches, and the upgrades have only made them better. These come in at $4,225. The bracelets have been upgraded, the straps have been upgraded, they even upgraded the clasp. So lots going into these watches, and the price increment, the increase in price, has been very, very minimal. Yet another watch that I have hands-on for review. It's a new release from Shinola. This is the Circadian Monster 36. Now, usually watches from Shinola, pretty large. I've seen a bunch of watches hands-on from Shinola, and I'm usually impressed with their overall quality. However, this watch takes them to a new level. It's getting a Sellita SW200. You're getting mother of pearl dials. These are the original versions. I'm sure they'll come out with regular versions with standard dials as well. However, the one that I have hands-on to show you guys is a black mother of pearl dial. It's in 36 millimeters. You're getting a Jubilee style bracelet. You get to see the movement from the back. These are really good looking watches, and the price is actually pretty good on these as well. 100 meters of water resistance, which obviously is also very good for a standard everyday watch. This is coming in at $1,450. Pretty good price for a very good looking watch. The next release that I wanted to talk about is a new moon swatch. This is the Mission to Earth phase. I was not expecting them to do something like this, but I have to say I was pleasantly surprised. And I keep on saying this with all the new releases for the moon swatches. This could be the best moon swatch yet. What you're getting here is the moon phase. So you're getting that moon phase at around the 2 o'clock position, like you did on the previous moon phases that they came out with over the past year. However, now you're also getting something called the Earth phase. So the Earth phase is at around that 10 o'clock position, and it's a loomed Earth. And there is a little disc. There's actually 2 discs that spin around and cover the Earth. It looks really cool, and of course the loom is awesome. Both of the moons, there's 2 moons on the moon phase disc, and obviously not all that functional. We don't really need to know the Earth phase. It's still made out of bioceramic, so ceramic mixed with plastic. It feels like plastic. These come in at around $310, I believe. Still, you know, a little bit expensive for a watch like this, but this is a good looking watch and I really like it. I could end up buying one of these. Non-limited edition, so these are available. Definitely check them out. Another one of my favorite watches from this list of new watch releases is a new brand, Grown, from the Feld brothers. If you're not familiar with the Feld brothers, they are a pair of brothers who make very high-end watches. Those are Feld watches that start around $50,000 or $60,000. They decided to come out with a more affordable brand starting at around $2,300. You're getting a beautiful copper salmon dial. It's really grainy, and in my opinion, the grainier, the better. It's a press dial. So basically this texture is actually pressed into the dial. That's how they're making it affordable, but you're getting a couple of different layers, applied indices. It looks really good for the price. You're getting a Sellita SW210 inside, so this is a hand-wound movement. You do get a solid case back, but they are saying that they're slightly modifying the movement to make it feel more like a Feld, which is kind of funny. You're getting a case that looks very familiar to their higher-end brand. Also, you're actually getting a Feld crown on here, which is weird because I've said this in another video that I did about this watch. They really didn't do anything. They just put a Feld crown with the Feld logo on it, which is funny. So I don't know, maybe that crown would cost as much as the entire watch if you had to replace it on one of their more expensive watches. So there you go. Really good looking watch for a very good price. And I hope to get one of these hands-on for review. So if you watch my channel, the next watch on this list is a watch that you must be familiar with already. It is the Timex Deepwater Reef 200. They came out with a titanium version in automatic. It gets an 8 series automatic movement. All of them get sapphire crystals. All of them get 200 meters of water resistance. They made a stainless steel version in quartz. It looks exactly the same as the titanium version. And then they also made a GMT. You can get them on a bracelet. You can get them on a strap. However, all of them cost around $200 to $300 in stainless steel. If you want just the stainless steel version on a strap, that costs under $200. And then the GMT versions cost around $249, somewhere in that range, depending if you want a bracelet or not. It's a little bit more expensive. That titanium version, which is definitely my favorite, comes in at around $450. A great watch for the price, and I highly recommend them. I've done a number of videos on them. Definitely check them out. I'll put links down in the description. The next watch is the cheapest watch on this list. It is a $1 watch from Timex. They're celebrating 170 years of watchmaking. So they are releasing the Yankee dollar watch again. So that was originally a pocket watch that they made. They sold those for $1. They are releasing a watch. It's a quartz watch in stainless steel, and it's going to cost only $1. They'll be selling them on Saturday the 16th. So if you're watching this video, that was probably yesterday, although you could be watching this sometime in the future. However, they have probably sold out. This was only a limited edition of 1,000 watches, and they are selling them worldwide. So there's only a handful available for the online community, and then there are a bunch of boutiques throughout the world that are selling them. You probably have a better chance of getting them through those boutiques, but I am going to try and get one. It's only $1. I'm going to try my best. If I can, I will be making a video about this watch. Obviously, they will sell out, so who knows what they will be selling for on eBay. If you got one, definitely add a comment down below. I want to hear, did you snag one of these? And if you did, I'm probably going to be jealous because I'm pretty sure that I won't, but we'll see. Hopefully I do. Okay, so we're coming to the last two watches on this list. Two very obscure watch brands. The first one is a brand called Alborn. This is a watch that is very, very cool. It's called the Type 10 chronograph, and the owner of this brand was behind the revival of Arnold & Sons and Angelus, two brands I really, really love. And what they've done here is made a very interesting chronograph. It's an imaginary ancestor of the Type 20 chronograph. The Type 20 was a flyback chronograph that was used by the French Army. It was actually made by a number of different brands, and it was meant to be a tool watch. This is the imaginary ancestor to the Type 20. It's called the Type 10, and they are saying this would have come out in the 1940s. Obviously, this is all imaginary, which is kind of funny. It gets a really great grainy dial. Again, I love a grainy dial, and this gets a very grainy dial. Lots of vintage details. You're getting a box sapphire crystal, a bi-directional DLC coated black bezel, old radium lume. It's in 39 millimeters. The crown at the 130 position looks like a stopwatch button. Then there's a red aluminum mono pusher. That's just below that stopwatch pusher button. You're getting 100 meters of water resistance. This gets a Valjoux 7750 that's really reworked by the brand. It's COSC certified, and it comes in at around $4,000, which is a very good price considering how good looking this watch is and who it's coming from. It's a very cool watch, and I really wish to get one of these in for review, but we'll see. I've reached out to the brand a number of times. Hopefully, they actually send me one for review. I would love to feature it here on my channel. Last but not least is another interesting brand called Ethereum. And this is a world timer that they've come out with. I've been following the producer of this watch for a while. They come out with some wild designs that they've posted on their Instagram. And I really love the design of this watch, specifically the dial. It's an integrated bracelet watch. It comes in at around 38.5 millimeters, but there is no hand. So basically you're getting rings for the hours, the minutes, and a 24-hour ring as well. And then there's a world time. That's the outer portion of this dial. So essentially the way it works is there are indices. There's actually markers that are printed on the sapphire crystal, which gives you a 3D effect, and those discs spin. So essentially that's it. There's some markings on those discs. And that's how you tell the times. You have a disc for the hours, a disc for the minutes, that 24-hour scale, and of course the world time. So everything is on a disc and not on a hand. It works the same way as any other watch, but with discs. So it looks a lot cleaner. It's just a very interesting way, a very interesting approach to a world timer. It's getting a Sellita SW330, so a thinner, more higher end version of their GMT movement. Really great movement, very reliable. This is a very cool watch. The only thing about this watch that I found a little bit wonky, a little bit weird, was the bracelet. Essentially, it's an integrated bracelet watch. It tapers really nicely. I'm not sure I'm in love with those dashes, but it's a good looking watch. And like I said, I've been following this brand and their designs for a very long time. They finally came out with a watch. It gets 50 meters of water resistance, and it retails for $3,315. Interesting design and interesting concept. I cannot wait to see what they come out with next, because I'm sure it's going to be very cool, especially considering how cool this watch is. Hopefully their next watch outdoes this watch, and I am very excited to see it. Anyway, guys, that's my list. These are watches that kind of went under the radar, releases that people aren't really talking about, and that's the reason why I wanted to make this video. So there's a number of watches ranging from $1 to $5,000. Obviously, there are a lot of other watches that were released during this time period, but these were some of my favorites. Tell me some of your favorites down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. I'll put links to these watches down in the description, so if you are interested in them, I will put direct links to their website. Definitely check them out because they are really cool watches. And if you got one of those $1 Timexes, definitely add a comment down below. I want to hear what you think of the watch and if you were able to get one. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it useful or helpful, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you have not, and of course hit that bell icon so you're alerted when I release new videos. Anyway, again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this. I will catch you guys in the next video.